this evening we're going to continue combining like terms. In this example, we're going to kind of use the distributive property to help us kind of do that. So we want to simplify this expression. So we have 10 minus 5 times the quantity 9n minus 9. Remember when we see those parentheses, we use that word, the quantity. I just also want to bring back to our attention some vocabulary. Remember when you have a number in front of a letter, that means multiplication, but also that number has a special name. That 6 is also referred to as the coefficient. And remember 6m could mean m plus m plus m plus m plus m plus m. So we notice that 6m is actually a simple way to write that, and that's what we mean by simplify. Put it in a simpler form. So negative 2y is, again, means negative 2 times y, but also it can be interpreted as 2 times a negative y. Or in other words, 2 negative y's. In other words, I can write that as a negative y and another negative y. Negative y plus negative y. So look at this problem. One thing we want to do with the distributive property, remember when you have a number connected to the parenthesis just like this, there's no operation in between there, that number, and then you say a parenthesis, that means multiplication. When we see something like this, it's a good idea to bring this negative 5 through the parentheses, and we can also model this using the rectangular model. So I have a negative 5, and I have a 9n and a negative 9. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to kind of work on this part first. What I want to do is remove the parentheses here. So I really want to kind of focus on that. So we really want to focus on this part. So what I'm going to do is bring the negative 5 to the 9n by multiplying. And negative 5 times 9 is negative 45, and then the n just comes in. So that just means negative 45n. And then negative 5 and a negative 9 would make that a positive 45. Because remember, a negative and a negative just kind of flips back to a positive. So we have that. So what I can do then is just bring this 10 down, and then this place gets replaced with what's inside the rectangle. So I can change that over to a negative 45n and a 45. So from there we look for our like terms. The numbers are our like terms. So we have this 10 and this 45 are alike. So this is going to come down as a 55 and a negative 45n, or 55 minus 45n. And that's as far as this goes. This does not simplify any further. So our next example, we want to use the distributive property to remove parentheses. So again, using the rectangular model, I'm going to have a negative 9 times the quantity 6m minus 3. So it's a 6m and a negative 3. So I kind of look at that as two terms, a 6m and a negative 3. So what I'm going to do is multiply through the parentheses there. So negative 9 times 6m is going to give me my negative 54m. And negative 9 times negative 3 gives me a positive 27. So this right here is going to get replaced with what's inside the rectangle. So I'm going to rewrite that as negative 54m plus 27. And when I do that, that's removing the parentheses, which allows me to continue on combining like terms. So again, I want to work on this. Again, the reason we're doing this is because 1 plus 4m are not like terms. We can't actually do what's inside the parentheses. So to remove the parentheses, our only possibility is use that distributive property to remove parentheses. So I have a 6, and I have 1 plus 4m. So again, I'm going to multiply 6 times 1 and get 6. 6 times 4m would be 24m. So this piece here is going to get replaced with what's inside the rectangle. So again, I'm going to have and a 6 and a 24m. So looking at this, we look at these two terms and notice that these are considered like terms because they have m's. One way to look at it is there's 54 negative m's and there's 24 positive m's. So there's going to be those zero pairs going on. What we also learn is, since these are like terms, we can focus on just the coefficients. Combine those coefficients by adding those together. So negative 54 and a 24, that's going to give me a negative 30m. And then combining our numbers together, a 27 and a 6 will give me then a 33. And again, that's as far as this goes. There's nothing else we can do. This is referred to as simplified. So again, that's as far as it goes. This is when we use the word simplified. So when we see expressions like these, all we really can do is just kind of play with them and try to get them into a simpler form. And notice how this has a lot more going on than this. So this is what we consider, again, a more useful answer. Okay. So I will do one more on another video, so stay tuned.